Hello, 10th graders. I wish I could see you the way you're seeing me, but this will just have to do for the time being. I hope you're doing well. And I want you to be reading I Am David very carefully. That's what this video is about today, I Am David. So what I want you to do is go to the packets that you received this week and get a document out of those packets. So you'll just have to put this on hold for a minute and go get the document called David's Limited Understanding of God. Let's look at this document together. This is in addition to the worksheets that you already have for I Am David. This is an additional worksheet that you're going to work on from now, from this point on, to the time that you finish the book. So from this chapter to the very end of the book. This is your instruction. Fill out this worksheet every time you read a section that includes the pages below. The worksheet will be due when you finish the book. Please don't wait until the very end to go back and finish this. It's going to be much better for you and your mind is going to be much fresher if you fill out this worksheet while you're reading these sections. Okay, let's read this together. David's limited understanding of God. At the beginning of David's journey, the thought occurred to him that having a God to believe in might help him along the way. After 12 years in the concentration camp, David had a very limited understanding of gods in general, and certainly of the God of the Bible. David's friend Johannes, though, had told him about a man in the Bible whose name was also David. This David in the Bible had a God whom he described this way: "He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters." And hopefully you recognize that from Psalm 23. This description of God appealed to David, so he chose to believe in him. David's first prayer to his new God is on pages 68 and 69, and I'm going to read that for you. Let's do that right now. If you have your book handy, you can look at it, page 68, 69. If you don't have your book handy, that's okay. Just listen to me as I'm reading this passage. So David, from our book, loved the sound of the God of green pastures and still waters. And the book says he, that God, was the one he would choose. Clutching his orange tightly, he had found an orange on the ground and he was preparing to eat it. So it says, clutching his orange tightly, he first looked around to make sure there was no one who could overhear him. And then he said in a low voice, "God of the green pastures and the still waters, I am David, and I choose you as my God. But you must please understand that I can't do anything for you, because I've always been in a wicked place where no one could think or learn or get to know anything. And so I know nothing about what people ought to do for their God. But the David Johannes used to talk about knew that even if he couldn't see you, you were there and were stronger than any men. I pray you will help me so that they won't catch me again." You know, the they and the them, those are the bad guys from the concentration camp. He was sure they were out looking for him. "So that they won't catch me again. Then perhaps I can gradually find out about you so that I can do something in return. And if you know where Johannes is now, will you please thank him for me for going with me to Salonika, and tell him, now that I'm free, I can think about him again. I am David. Amen." And then a little bit lower on that page, it says, he felt a sense of relief and added strength, just as he had the morning he had determined to go on living. He was glad he had thought of it. A God would be a lot better than a compass. Remember, he had dropped his compass in the water and couldn't retrieve it. But he says a God would be a lot better than a compass, though of course it would have been nice to have both. Now, here's the assignment that I want you to do. Every time you read one of these passages where David thinks about God or prays to God, I want you to summarize that passage. And a summary means not taking it point by point and writing down everything, but just getting the major key idea or ideas of that section. What is David thinking about God? What is he praying to God? And so I've done the first one for you. I summarized that prayer and the information around it from pages 68 to 69. So let's take a look at that. What I said in summary is David decided to believe in the God of the Bible. And he said his first prayer. He told God that he can't do anything for him, but he asked God to help him get away. He said he knew God was invisible, but stronger than any man. Now, all through this book, David's understanding about God is very limited, it's very naive, it's very innocent. But it's just interesting to see how his interaction with God grows and his little bit of understanding of God increases as well as the book goes on. So what I have on this page are page numbers. I've picked out all of those sections of the book where David either thinks about God or talks to God. And if I've forgotten one and you find it, I'm sorry. I had tried to mark every single one of them, but they're all written on this page for you, and be sure to go on to the other side and fill those out as you go along. Okay, that's all for today. Have a good day. Be blessed. Keep well. I miss you. Bye.